You're staring at a government portal. It's asking for the same information you've entered 6 times across 4 different forms. Your deadline is in 2 hours. You're copying, pasting, clicking, scrolling, copying again. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're thinking, isn't this exactly what AI was supposed to fix? Today, we're looking at tools that actually promise to do this for you. Claude and Codex can now control your computer. But should you let them? This is AI tools that work. And today we're testing something that honestly feels a bit science fiction. AI that doesn't just tell you how to do something, but actually does it. It moves your cursor. It clicks your buttons. It types in your text fields. And if that sounds both exciting and terrifying, good. You're paying attention. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use these features, when to absolutely avoid them, and what to try first if you want to test them yourself. Let's start with what computer use actually means, because it's not what most people assume when they hear it. Traditional AI assistants work through APIs and integrations. They plug into your calendar, your email, your project management tools directly through the back door. Computer use is different. The AI actually looks at your screen like you do and interacts with it using your mouse and keyboard. It's not connecting to a backend. It's seeing what you see, which means it can work with software that has no API at all. That government portal with no developer access? The ancient accounting software your company has used since 1998? The PDF form that requires manual entry? This is where computer use shines. Not replacing API integrations, but filling the gaps where APIs don't exist. As of March 2026, both major AI labs offer this capability. Anthropic has it in Claude's Cowork mode. OpenAI has it in their Codex desktop app. Claude's computer use is available to Pro and Max plan subscribers through the Claude desktop app on both macOS and Windows. OpenAI's Codex app works on Mac and can run desktop tasks in the background while you actively use your computer for something else. Here's what surprised me when I started testing. Claude doesn't jump straight to controlling your screen. It has a priority system. According to Anthropic's documentation, Claude first tries to use direct connectors, integrations with Gmail, Slack, and Google Drive. These are faster and more reliable. If a connector isn't available, Claude tries Chrome browser navigation, opening sites, clicking through web interfaces, filling forms. Full computer use, where Claude controls your entire desktop, is the last resort. It's the nuclear option, used only when nothing else works. This hierarchy exists for good reason. Direct integrations are precise. Browser automation is pretty reliable. Full desktop control? That's where things get interesting. Codex takes a different approach. OpenAI designed it to run multiple agents in parallel, each handling separate tasks without interfering with each other. OpenAI's blog claims agents can work across projects simultaneously, completing what they call weeks of work in days. Bold claim. Let's see how it holds up. I tested both systems on real workflows. Not demo scenarios, actual tasks I do every week. Here's what I found. Computer use excels at tasks without clean API alternatives. Think legacy desktop software, web apps with no programmatic access, or government portals requiring manual form entry. I gave Claude a task: fill out a vendor registration form on a state procurement website. No API, no integration, just a web form that requires clicking through 12 pages. Claude handled it. Slowly, it took about 3 minutes for what would take me 8, but it got every field right. It even caught a drop-down menu I usually miss. Then I tried something harder. A PDF expense report that needed to be recreated in our company's ancient internal system. Copy from PDF. Paste into legacy app. Repeat 40 times. This is where computer use proved its value. Claude switched between windows, copied values, pasted them into the right fields. 40 line items in about 6 minutes. Not perfect speed. But I wasn't doing the work. I answered emails while it ran. That's the trade-off that actually matters. But here's the critical caveat. Anthropic explicitly warns against using computer use with sensitive data, healthcare records, financial information, personal documents. This isn't legal boilerplate they're burying in terms of service. It's on their help center, front and center. They're telling you, don't trust this with your most important stuff yet. Claude's system actively scans for signs of prompt injection when using your computer and asks explicit permission before accessing any new application. This matters because computer use creates a new attack surface. If you're browsing a malicious website while Claude has control, things could go wrong in new ways. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm saying understand what you're authorizing. This is a powerful tool that requires thoughtful deployment. One thing both platforms handle well, asking before they act. You'll see what the AI wants to click before it clicks. You can stop it. You can redirect it. This isn't autonomous AI running wild on your desktop. It's more like having a very capable assistant who says, "I'm about to click here, is that okay?" At least for now, both companies are clearly building toward more autonomous operation, but they're being cautious about how quickly they get there. So where does computer use actually make sense today? Let me give you the honest assessment. If you're doing repetitive data entry across applications that don't talk to each other, computer use might save you hours every week. That's its sweet spot. Form filling on web portals, especially government or healthcare systems with no modern APIs, is another area where this genuinely helps. Legacy software that your IT department can't or won't replace. This is where computer use earns its keep. It bridges the gap between old tools and new expectations. But here's where you should pump the brakes. If an API integration exists, use it instead. Direct integrations are faster, more reliable, and don't carry the security considerations of full desktop access. For anything involving passwords, financial accounts, or medical records, consider holding off until these tools mature further. The companies themselves are saying this. And if you're in a corporate environment with IT policies about third-party access, talk to your security team first. This is genuinely new territory for enterprise. I want to be real about the failure modes too, because they exist and pretending otherwise doesn't help anyone. Sometimes Claude clicks the wrong button. Sometimes Codex misreads what's on screen. These aren't deal breakers, but you need to be watching. I had Claude accidentally close a window I needed. Minor inconvenience. But imagine if that window was an unsaved document. Oversight still matters. The speed issue is real too. Computer use is slower than doing it yourself, usually. What you're trading is your attention, not necessarily your time. So here's what I'd suggest if you want to try this yourself. Start with a low-stakes task, something you don't mind if it fails the first time. Batch file renaming is perfect for this. Have Claude rename 50 files following a pattern. If it messes up, you can undo it. Low risk, clear success criteria. Next level up, form filling on a non-sensitive website. Maybe a newsletter sign-up, a test account creation. See how it handles navigating web interfaces. One approach that's worked well for me, create a separate user account on your computer with limited permissions. Test computer use there before bringing it to your main environment. Keep notes on what works and what doesn't. This varies a lot by application. The software you use every day has quirks these AI systems may or may not handle well. If you're finding this helpful, by the way, hit subscribe. We cover practical AI stuff like this every week. No hype, just what actually works. Let me talk about the bigger picture for a second. Because computer use is a preview of where all AI assistance is heading. We're moving from AI that answers questions to AI that takes actions. From assistants you consult to assistants that execute. That's a meaningful shift, and it raises questions we haven't fully answered yet. How much should we trust automated systems? How do we verify what they did? Who's responsible when something goes wrong? Right now, the answer is you're responsible. You're supervising. These are powerful tools, but they're tools you're wielding. The AI isn't replacing your judgment. Not yet anyway. And honestly, that's probably good. We're still figuring out the boundaries of what these systems can handle reliably. Both companies are iterating fast. Anthropic's computer use launched just weeks ago. OpenAI's desktop features are even newer. This is version 1 territory, which means if you try it today and it doesn't work perfectly, that's expected. These features will improve. The question is whether you want to be an early adopter. My take? If you're technically curious and comfortable troubleshooting, computer use is worth exploring now. You'll learn its patterns before everyone else does. If you just want tools that work reliably out of the box, it might be worth waiting 6 months. Let the early adopters find the rough edges first. Either approach is valid. The important thing is making a conscious choice about how you want to integrate these capabilities into your work. So here's your homework. If you're intrigued by computer use, pick one repetitive task you did this week. Just one. Something annoying but not critical. Try automating it. If it works, great, you saved future time. If it fails, you've learned where the limits are. Both outcomes have value. AI agents are here. They're real, they're imperfect, and they're getting better fast. The question isn't whether to use them, it's when and how. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. And if you've tried computer use yourself, drop a comment. I'd love to hear what worked and what didn't for you.